Hello, welcome to the Gameweek 4 knee-jerk stream. Gameweek 3 is fully finished. We are over. I got 64 points minus 4, so 60 total. I am pretty damn happy about that, given what happened in the game week. I've yet to see someone who wildcarded who is super happy. A lot of wildcarders seem a little bit frustrated. Obviously, Kane, people just got him in. Now people are talking about taking him out. Salah got taken out for Mane. Salah scores a brace. Some people seem surprised that Salah scores goals. But that's going to happen. Like, Mane could easily score a brace next week. And then Salah could blank. So, how are we all? Lots of points being posted in the chat. 60 plus, always a good score. Obviously depends what everyone else does as well, what the average is. But it was a trying game week, I would say. I tend not to try and get too frustrated at FPL, even though it's difficult sometimes. I was super annoyed about the Liverpool clean sheet wipeout. I know they conceded enough chances to concede, but the way in which it happened, the time in which it happened, I swore. I had to apologise for my language, sorry. Excuse my French, all that good stuff. So yeah, three game weeks. No clean sheet for Liverpool. We'll talk about that. Talk about Kane. Talk about Mane. Talk about Salah. Talk about whatever you like. Atsu assist. That is why the man... I see it because I've got a green screen. I can't properly point. That is why the man is there. Atsu, absolute legend. Spurs. There's troubles there. What is going on with Eriksen? Why has he been benched again? He would have been perfect from the off. When Spurs were kind of set up as like... ready to counter-attack a team that were going to sit deep. So that was a bit of a weird one. And yeah, Jimenez's goal in the 97th minute kind of just... it just summed up clean sheets. It just summed up clean sheets this week. So it's frustrating anyway. I'll check out my team. Or I'll show you my team in a sec. That's another thing, yeah. Man United, are their assets now no-go? This is the thing. Like, I don't want to keep harping on about it, but I will. We're only 3 game weeks in. There's still so much we don't know. So much we can't be confident on. The only thing we know for sure is that Pookie is the greatest player to ever play in the Premier League. Apart from that, nothing else is yet known. Anyway, stream is sponsored by fantasyfootballscout.co.uk. I'm going to show you their members area in a minute because we're going to talk about Liverpool defence. And I'm going to show you why I'm probably going to stick with Liverpool defence. But yeah, the show is sponsored by those guys. If you want to check them out, links in the description below. Going to play their fancy little video, and then I'll show you my team. Thanks very much for those guys for sponsoring. If you want to check out the members area, click the link in the description below. That'll take you straight there. And just while I'm on that, it has no sound. That is the sound. It's just very quiet. I should have this. Yeah, I actually set it up properly today. So this is the members area, and I'm basically going to talk about Liverpool defence, right? Because I've got Liverpool defenders. Double up. They ain't looking good. I think there's every chance that Barnes or Burnley will score next week. So should we get rid of them? So, this is the members area. These are my own stats tables, attackers, midfielders, defenders. You can build them how you want. But what I'm looking at is the season ticker. So let me bring this back up. Sorry. I need to bring I need 3 screens. First world problems. So I was thinking, could I get rid of Liverpool defenders, right? So in the members area, you got the season ticker. And so what I quickly did, defence, sort by difficulty. Well, Liverpool are third. Liverpool are third best defence apparently for fixtures. Man City are top. I can't get Man City players in. I've already got 3. Aston Villa, I'm not sure I'm quite ready to drop Liverpool players to Aston Villa. And then it's Burnley. And again, Not going to bring them in against Liverpool. So Chelsea, I just think Wolves away and Liverpool at home. I don't want to bring one of their players either. So I'm basically, because of this, I'm just sticking with Liverpool because I don't know who else to bring in. So, and I just think they've got at least one more clean sheet, surely, or one clean sheet in the next two. So anyway, that's the members area. There's loads of stuff down that side if you want to check them out. Loads of little things you can go, you can use. Like I said, link is in the description below. So before I get asked loads about Liverpool players, I'm keeping them. Can I zoom into this? I could have done that, yeah, if I'd thought about that in advance, but I'm an idiot, so I'm sorry. The members area is not free, it's just a one-off payment for the whole season. What's up, Luke? How's it going? So yeah, this is my team. 64 points minus 4. The defence was awful. You guys were right. I should have played the attacker. King 2 points would have been better than Lundstrom with 0 points. So yeah, defence was awful. 0 clean sheets. Pope in the 97th minute was horrible because even though it's not very likely for a goalkeeper to get a penalty save. More penalties are scored than missed or saved, of course. You still got that thought in your head, what if Pope could do it? This would absolutely make the game week. He would have kept the clean sheet, got 5 points or whatever it is for the penalty save, plus bonus points. And that would have been brilliant. But he didn't, so it was awful. But the attack was brilliant. All my players I bought in, Pukki, Mount, De Bruyne got points. Wilson got an assist again, who I took out. But Mora and Perez did nothing. So I bought in 3 players which will rise in price. 3 players which got points. 3 players I like going forward. So I'm really happy with my transfers. Yes, I should have captained Salah. Whatever. I'm going to captain Sterling again this week. At the end of the day, I've got one captain blank out of 3. I've got the wrong captain every week, but only 1 blank, so I'm happy with that. 6-point penalty drop was on 2 bonus points, and he would have got 3 bonus points if he saved the penalty. But obviously, yeah, 2 if you would if there was just no penalty to begin with. So it's frustrating. I mean, okay, Sheffield United versus Leicester. I knew that was kind of probably pushing it a bit. Lucas Dean, Villa, okay, fair enough. Lucas Dean, 3 clean sheets in a row was probably pushing it. Liverpool, though, to lose it when they did. And Zinchenko, free kick. Like, Man City are not giving away too many chances. And Harry Wilson goes and smashes in probably the best free kick you'll see all season. It was so good. Just pinpoint accuracy to get it in the top right. But I can't complain too much. Pukki come in and smashed it. I think the team is looking pretty good. If I show you the team for next week... I think I'm looking okay. I can make no transfers, I think. But that doesn't mean I'm not looking to make transfers. Excuse me. So if Mount's fit, he went off with like a calf strain. But I think it was impact from viewing it. I think that's what Lampard said as well. So hopefully that's better than him just straining it. Patar, Kane, Martial out for Sterling and Wood. Plus De Bruyne, plus Pukki. For Sterling, I mean Wood... I mean, look, is Barnes going to keep scoring all the goals for Burnley? Probably not. But right now, he is the one in form. I'm not sure I'd go for Wood. Kane Martial just seems so knee-jerk to me. You've got to ask yourself why you had Kane, I suppose. Yeah, Mount should be fine. So, for my own team, I'm pretty happy. Like, even King, you know, he got 1 goal in the first 2 games. If he got a goal every other game, I'd probably be okay with that. And he got nothing against City, but I mean, I didn't expect him to get anything. That's why I benched him. So I should keep, but I have 0.2 million in the bank. King is 6.4 million. Ashley Barnes is 6.6. And I am super tempted to make the move because I did my wildcard draft. Did a mock wildcard draft this week because I knew a lot of people were wildcarding, and I said Pukki and Barnes up front. Right now, They are the best for that price. I don't think there's any arguments you can make. But the problem is, I'd have to make an early transfer. I don't know how close Barnes is to... Let me have a quick look, actually. I don't know how accurate FPL Statistics has got it. So Barnes is on plus is 59% to a rise. So he's probably not going to rise tonight. Now, the reason I don't think Barnes is necessary knee-jerk is... I talked about him in pre-season videos when we were talking about forwards, and his stats have been good for ages. Ever since he came into the Burnley team last year, like when he started, been doing well. He's also started off this season well. Talked about it last week, I think. His underlying stats for goal scoring potential, at least, were right up there with Pookie's. But obviously, fixture-wise, Wolves away and Liverpool at home didn't look quite as good. So I got Pookie in instead, and obviously he scored more points, so I'm happy with that. But it's Liverpool, so basically, here's what I'm saying to myself: Liverpool aren't getting a clean sheet, which is a bit frustrating. But I still don't think that means I would remove them. Or I'm saying Liverpool will get a clean sheet, and I'm bringing in a player early who I think will blank. The thing is, after Liverpool, I think I'm going to do it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it. I'm going to make the move. After Liverpool, Burnley, Brighton away, Norwich at home. And Norwich, as good as they are going forward, they are not good defensively. Villa away, then Everton at home. Who knows what kind of a state they'll be in by then. I think they've been doing pretty good, Everton, but from a defensive point of view, attacking-wise, awful. Obviously, it doesn't help Barnes, but they might start attacking or be more defensively unsound. Then it gets a bit trickier. Leicester away, Chelsea at home. But as good as he's been, I think I've got to do it. Burnley play midweek. Why would they not rest their best striker? I don't know. I'm tempted to do it because... And I hate to... Actually, no, do you know what? I like to say it because I know people hate it and it winds them up for no reason. I've got the wildcard in the back pocket, lads. It's there. I've really got nothing else to worry about. Cantwell in for Dendonka. Yeah, okay, maybe, but... You know, I don't think that's the end of the world. Cantwell's not going to get... If Cantwell's going to be a 4th or 5th midfielder, he's not going to be out. He's not going to be priced out of my budget anytime soon. So, I don't think the issue is Barnes not playing against Liverpool. The issue is Barnes potentially getting injured. So I've got the back pocket wild card, which could come out soon enough. I don't know. I could just keep it because I don't think King is a knee. I don't think King out is knee-jerk, but he's not really done anything wrong. He scored a goal in the first 2, and then played Man City. So Leicester away, Everton at home, Southampton away. I don't know. The problem is his underlying stats weren't good for the first 2 games, although he is on penalties, which is how he got his goal. And I don't really like reading into too much against Man City, so I don't know. I'm definitely not wildcarding, by the way. The point is, sorry, yeah, I should explain. For the past few seasons, anytime I've had a wildcard ready. Like anytime I've had a wildcard available, I always say it's in the back pocket. And so when I hold on to the wildcard for a long time, I always say something like, yeah, I can do that because I've got the wildcard in the back pocket. I can take a risk because I've got the wildcard in the back pocket. And it frustrates some people, so I'm sorry. But it has to be in the back of my mind. So I don't know. It just feels so wrong to bring in Barnes before Liverpool. There's no way I would make that move last year. But I'm tempted to do it. Because I'm thinking long term. I think, and hopefully, like, I know I'm talking about my team a lot, but I think I've got a lot of players that other people will have too, obviously. Lucas Digne, or Digne, still need to check how that's done. I'm okay with playing him up until game week 7. Liverpool defence, okay. I've explained my reasons for keeping him. I'm going to keep him for Newcastle at home. After that, I could look to get rid of him. I got no reason to get rid of any Man City players. No reason to get rid of Pookie. Mount maybe eventually after the Sheffield United fixture. It gets a little bit trickier for Chelsea. And Zinchenko, of course, if Mendy comes back. But let's wait until Mendy comes back. So I've not got a huge amount of problems right now. And if my team gets decimated, then I've got the wildcard in the back pocket, ready to just pull it out. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm framing that in a way that means I should do it, when actually I shouldn't. I'll give it some thought. I don't think he's going to rise tonight. I'd be stupid to let Mount go. That's my point. Right now, I don't see a huge amount of issues with my team. So King to Barnes to get the two men in form. I don't know. Did I jump off the Jimenez bandwagon? I mean, I didn't jump off it last season. I never got on it this season. Robertson's fallen in price. I know he is, but whatever. I want to keep him for the next 2 fixtures. I guess I still have no Man United players. Is that a problem? David Silva in for Lucas Moura. I mean, has he played every game, David Silva? He was brilliant today, by the way. So good. They're really going to miss him. Yeah, so he's missed 1 game. That's basically the problem you're going to have. So you're taking out a player that might not play every now and again for another player that might not play every now and again. Of course, he plays Man City and they've got really good fixtures. So, might not be the worst. Okay, I've got Greenwood. He doesn't count. What do we think about Spurs, by the way? Because, I mean, in some ways I feel for him. That is can be such a frustrating team to play against. Seen it before. Seen it like last year, I think, with Man City really struggled to break Newcastle. Break Newcastle down. But like, surely set up wrong. No Lo Celso, no Eriksen to start off with. Eriksen, surely they're trying to sell. And then what I didn't get was the afterwards. I think the pundits were saying something like they need to sell Eriksen to just settle everything down. And maybe they do. Maybe he is causing trouble, but that doesn't sound right to me. I feel like they should be doing everything to try and keep him. I'm not trying to rub it in, but like I said it on Twitter earlier, I really was not worried about Kane at all. I think I said it on the last stream as well. One thing from last season is you cannot have everyone. And so Kane versus a bad team looks good, but I don't know. I still think he just weakens the team a little bit too much. But that's obviously easier to say now, but I did kind of say it before. One thing I will say is, though, that was a penalty on Kane, and he would have put that away. That's what he does. He scores penalties. So I think you can consider yourself a little bit unlucky. He might have got bonus as well. I didn't check what the bonus points was at. So I think if you've got Kane, it is unlucky. It was definitely a penalty. VAR, I don't want to talk about it too much, but what a load of rubbish. I like VAR, and I wish... how is it not a penalty? He literally just dived into him. Didn't try and play the ball. I'm not going to get into it because I obviously will never agree, but I don't get how someone looked at that and thought that wasn't a penalty. But anyway, I think it was, so I think you consider yourself unlucky. But yeah, VAR, I don't get what the point is. Like, people keep tweeting me saying it's a human that checks it, and like, I get that, but surely this human has eyes. Yeah, clear and obvious is stupid. If it should have been a penalty, if it should have been a penalty and it wasn't given, that is clear and obvious. Like, clear and obvious is a pretty stupid statement, really. David Silva's foot was stood on. That is clear and obvious. That is a penalty. Azpilicueta was kicked. That is a penalty. Martial was pulled back. That is a penalty. And VAR is just another man's opinion. Another man that has camera angles, though, or should have. They should have the same angles they get in Sky, on Sky or BT or whatever. And I didn't even see the Wolves one, but I'm saying that definitely wasn't a penalty because I wanted Pope's clean sheet. Anyway, I'm sorry. Who would you take? Thanks, Mr. Copes. Who would you take Zinchenko out for, and how many is back? I would keep Zinchenko. Don't worry about taking Zinchenko out until you absolutely need to. There's going to be lots of questions about Mendy. Pep's going to say a lot of things. Let's see him on the bench first. Let's see him get some minutes. Let's see Zinchenko lose his place. There's every chance Zinchenko plays game week 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're good. And Man City have Brighton, Norwich, Watford, Everton, Wolves, then Palace, then Villa, then Southampton. They don't have a tough fixture until game week 12. So if you've got a good bench, then Donker, Cantwell, Lundstrom. For me, I'm not getting rid of Zinchenko, basically. Like, I've seen some people saying maybe he'll lose his place because he's looked a bit suspect in defence, but I'm not sure that's... I don't think that's... I think it's being blown out of proportion. I think the way City play, that's always likely to happen sometimes because of all the playing in and around the back and stuff like that. But I think he's been pretty good. He's been good enough to keep his place. Like, if he started the last 14 games of last season, he's now played the next 17 games in a row now? I think Pep thinks he's okay. Sterling replied to me on Twitter. He did reply to me on Twitter, yeah. He's probably watching right now, I'd say. It's probably I reckon that's what Raheem Sterling does on his Sunday night. When he's just scored a goal to help his team win. Tunes into Let's Talk FPL. Zinchenko will eventually lose his place. Absolutely. He will lose his place when Mendy's fit. I have no doubts about that. But I'm not worried about it. I'll worry about it when he loses his place. Right now, you're getting a Man City defender for 5.5 million, who should keep some clean sheets over the next few fixtures. So what is there not to like? If Sterling messaged me on Twitter, he can be a mod. I'll give him that privilege. No wildcard. Do I answer questions that aren't super chats? Well, I'm just answering yours to say yes. Salah or Mane? Look, Mane's. I would like someone. I've not checked how many points they've scored in 2019. I keep seeing the fact that Mane has outscored Sterling goals-wise in 2019, and I'm sure he has. I'm sure the people that are saying that are not incorrect. And I'm sure if that is the case, and it's by quite a margin, maybe Mane did outscore him on FPL points in 2019 as well. And I can see why people did it. And I still don't think it was that bad of a move. I think you can't get rid of Salah, bring Mane in, and then knee-jerk back just because Salah scores. Because, like I said at the start of the stream, surely at some point you're expecting Salah to score. It's not like he's a bad player. And all this talk of Mane scoring 22 goals without penalties, it does not matter for FPL. We don't care how the ball goes in the net. A Salah penalty is just as good as a Mane screamer from outside the box. So, as I said, I don't know, in the last couple of streams, I don't think, until I've got way more money, and until I drop double Liverpool defence, I will own Mane. I just don't think it will happen because Salah's only $1 million more. He's on penalties, and he's the top scorer for the last 2 seasons. So I'd probably rather downgrade elsewhere to not have to save that $1 million than to get Mane in instead of Salah. Basically, that's my opinion. That's what I'm going to do. 300 points, 260 points, 12.5 million. Only 0.5 million more than Aguero. What is not to like? Mane is going to do really well. Yeah, he's going to do. Maybe he'll get close to Salah. Maybe he'll beat Salah. I don't know. But for me, I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I'm going to get in the main man, and for me, that is Salah. Even though one counter argument, I suppose, is Sterling looks like a really good captain option for however long now. So arguably, you could make the $1 million downgrade and just get Mane because you're not going to captain him anyway. But even this week, you're up 10 points if you had Salah. So, but at the same time, Mane can score a brace next week against Burnley, and I'm sat there with Salah, no points. It could happen. There's no point in getting annoyed about that. It's going to happen. Just like Kane could have scored a brace today. You cannot own everyone. Is 3-4-3 making a comeback? I don't think necessarily that 3-4-3 is making a comeback. I do think less money in defence is going to be the way forward. And to be honest, I don't think that's news. I think, whether that's from going 3 at defence or just reducing the amount of money in your 3 or 4 defenders, I think that was always likely to be the case after the start of the season. I think I said that. I was chatting to Joe from Fantasy Football Scout on Twitter about, like, he was saying big at the back, it was better to go 3, and I was kind of saying, yeah, I've got big at the back for now, but I'd likely downgrade that. I think 3-5-2 would probably be the way I would go. But it depends. I mean, Pookie looks good, Barnes looks good, Haller at West Ham apparently looked good. I've not seen the game, not going to pretend I have, but lots of hype around him now. Wesley obviously scored for Villa. I'm still not sure he's a good option, but we'll see. So there are lots of good cheap options. Obviously, Pookie and Barnes are going to keep going up. But I think I want Salah, I want Sterling, I want De Bruyne. And Mount looks good for 6 million right now. Martial's an option. Son could be an option. I'm probably looking more to 3-5-2. Zinchenko eventually, like we've just talked about for a while, will be gone. Double Liverpool defence will turn into maybe 1, if not 0. So, yeah, I do think 3 at the back will become more the norm soon. Need more info on Haller. Yeah, exactly. I didn't really want to knee-jerk him in straight after Watford. Plus, I don't have the money for it either. But West Ham do have pretty good fixtures, so it's not the worst time to jump on. Thomas, thanks very much. Fraser and Sal out for Mane and De Bruyne for 4 points. This is the thing, like... So, Mane and De Bruyne is probably a better combo than Salah or Fraser. But I'm not sure. I personally don't think I could spend 4 points on Salah out. But of course, if you think Mane's going to outscore him in the long term, it's worth it. It's such a sideways move, and it costs you points. But then De Bruyne is so good. So yeah, I think the second combo is better. Because we don't really... I don't know. It's hard to say how Bournemouth are going to do going forward. Haller, is it Haller? Is he French or is he French? I think he is, right? Yeah. Sebastian Romain, Teddy Haller. I can't speak French. Mount or Martial out because they might not play -4. Hold that knee. I would say they're both likely to play. Let's wait and see what happens in the press conferences. Martial, I think, is worse than Mount. Because Mount got a proper kick, and that's where it came from. Martial, I don't think, did. It could have been cramp or something, I don't know. I don't think we heard anything about Martial from Solskjaer, but I could be wrong. Someone will tell me in the chat if I'm wrong. Just took out Harry Kane. So, if you haven't already voted, top right hand corner, click the little eye. There's 5 polls to vote on, which will go through in like 20-ish minutes. Is Kane worth keeping? That's a big question a lot of people are asking themselves today. How many premium defenders for 6 million plus going forward? Pookie or Barnes or both? Are you worried about Man United players, and could Cantwell be a 4th midfielder material? Yeah, with the injuries, we don't know, basically. None of us have an idea. We've only got what Lampard has kind of said about Mount, which he should be okay, but let's wait. Yeah, I mean, Kane should be a good option. I just think the money is better. Like, I'd rather have De Bruyne than Kane. Put it that way. I just think the fixtures are better. He's in super good form. I mean, if you watch the Man City game today, the assist was actually pretty rubbish. It was a missed It was a mishit, basically. He tried to shoot, he scuffed it, and it went to Aguero. Obviously, we don't care in FPL. That's great. 3 points for the assist. But another time, he could have battered that in. By the way, Zinchenko would have got the assist if he'd actually scored. And he also had a great chance in the second half, where if he had he went for the right of the goal, like his right, and if he'd gone left, it would have gone in. There was so much space, so he just made the wrong decision. So De Bruyne could have had another big haul today. I think he's a better option than Kane, personally, at least in the short term. And he costs 1.4 million less. So I think it's very hard to fit in Salah or Mane, Sterling, De Bruyne and Kane and have a good rest of the team. So that's why I personally would go for Kane. Now, would I transfer Kane out if I'd only just bought him? I mean, some people probably had him from the start, and so the decision's probably a little bit easier because you're kind of thinking, have him for Villa and Newcastle, hopefully he does something. If he doesn't, I'll get rid. If you've just bought him on a wild card, I would be tempted to give him a few more games. Arsenal away, who knows how open that will be. Arsenal, especially if they because Arsenal are at home, if they let him play, I mean, the thing is, Spurs might play on the counter, and I'm not sure that's that great for Kane. It's probably going to be better for Son and Moura, but could do something against Arsenal, and then Crystal Palace at home. I'd be tempted to give him that. Yeah, De Bruyne does seem underpriced. I think they priced him at that because they knew everyone was going to go for Sterling and Salah, or at least a lot of people. And so they wanted to entice you elsewhere, basically. David Silva, I think, will play as regular as the likes of Bernardo and Mahrez. You could see him getting benched every other game, every 2 or 3 games, basically. There's not much you can do about it. He's 7.4 million, so if you've got a good bench, you could be alright. Probably for 7.4 million, there's not too many other amazing options. Aguero or Kane? I'd go Aguero. I'd go for Man City over anyone right now. Fixtures are Brighton, Norwich, Watford, Everton, Wolves. Should I be disappointed with getting the same as the average? I mean, it's always nice to get more than the average, but it's better than getting less than the average. Am I planning to make any change for Gameweek 4? Maybe King to Barnes. Another player I liked the look of this week. Son had 6 shots, Kane had 1. Again, I probably, although it's hard to say after one game, like, the only problem with Son is, like, I assume he's still, part of the best 11 at Spurs. It's just, how do they fit in all those midfielders game to game? Obviously, we saw how they did it this week, but does Son start every game? I love him. If he does, then I think he'll do really well. But again, his price point, there's Pepe as well, Arsenal. He looked a bit, what's the word? Not all over the place. I think the commentator said he looked like he was trying too hard, and I think that was probably fair. Which sounds like a slight dig, but I think he really wanted to do well and just show what he was all about. And Rusty maybe as well. Yeah, he should have scored. He should have stopped that Liverpool clean sheet a long time before it happened, which is actually what made it more frustrating. A bit gung ho, yeah. But once he settles down a bit, and once Arsenal get the Spurs game out of the way, but the problem is we just don't know if he's going to start every game either. We saw Lacazette benched, so could that be Pepe next game? It's just frustrating. That's what makes De Bruyne and Sterling so good, and Salah and Mane. You know they're going to play. So yeah, Pepe is someone I like the look of. Yeah, exactly. Got lots of midfielders. Took advice from people on YouTube to Aguero out for Kane. I mean, you said it in the first game, like with Lucas Moura. When you on a one-game scenario, it is hard to predict. Like if you watch the points predictor video that I'm doing, it's pretty difficult to predict points coming in one game. Okay, maybe you could just do Salah and Sterling every week. outside of that, it's pretty difficult to, if you're going to like on your free hit, for example, trying to nail every single pick is difficult. So if you bought KANE in for Newcastle and now he's not done something and that's not good enough, well then you're asking for trouble. I think you should really be bringing in players for a span of game weeks, whether that's 3, 4, 5 more, whatever it might be. I can't remember how I got talking about that now. Martial injured, who would you replace with? I think Mount looks like the obvious downgrade for that kind of price. Probably someone that's probably going slightly under the radar is Maddison, 2 assists in the last 2 games, but then it's Bournemouth, then Man United, Spurs, so it looks tough. I think this is really what's putting me off Wildcard, is there's no team, apart from players we've already got, no one's really got a really nice run of fixtures coming anytime soon. So like if you look at the players for kind of Martial's price, Mount... Lanzini, I think, could be good this week. It's just, there's not too many good options, but I won't worry too much about Martial. He's probably going to be fine. Lanzini's created quite a few chances already. So is Buendia, actually, at Norwich. But I think the problem with Buendia is it's hard to look past Cantwell and Pukki. You probably don't want 3 Norwich players. Is Wilson worth keeping? I think if you've still got Callum Wilson, you should keep, yeah. Bournemouth's fixtures they're not amazing. Like, they do play, if I bring them up here, I mean, Leicester and Everton, the next 2, they're 2 of the best sides outside of the top 6. So they're not super easy, but I feel like if you kept Wilson, I don't see any real reason to get rid of him now unless you really need the money. Yeah, exactly. Arsenal's fixtures are good next week, but not... they play Spurs this week, so you're not going to be in a rush to bring their players in. And who are you going to get from Arsenal? The players that really interest me from Arsenal are injured. Bellerin and Tierney. One clean sheet in the last 18 for Man United. Yeah, I mean, this is how quickly things change. Like, last week, if I had wildcarded, I would have probably got Wan-Bissaka and Martial. And now, I'm thinking, do I massively need them? Am I in a rush to get them now? I mean, to be fair to Martial, he's got 3 attacking returns in 3 games. So, even though Man United looks so poor against Palace, probably shouldn't worry about him too much. But him and Rashford just not getting that many shots in and around the box. That is a bit of a worry. Now, you see players like that sometimes, like Vardy, for example. He doesn't have that many shots. He's pretty clinical. Martial's quite similar. He's still playing number 9, of course, and he's going to play 90 minutes most games. So I still think he's a good option, but it's just that am I in such a rush now? I don't really have a good way to get him in without wildcard, and then I don't feel like my team needs a wildcard. Are Everton attacking players worth a shout? Will they start scoring? I mean, I'd say Everton fans would really like him to start scoring. They were pretty rubbish from an attacking sense from the Villa game that I watched. I think they need a Iwobi to start playing, and I think he probably will after the performance he gave when he came on. But a part of me thinks, is Iwobi really can Iwobi ever really be the answer, or is that a bit harsh on him? But I think let's see for Everton. I really need to see Iwobi and Keane starting and fit, and then seeing what happens. Yeah, like Business Cat says, Moise Keane looks quite unfit. Iwobi hasn't started yet. We need to see them playing. Because Sigurdsson, I don't know. I mean, Sigurdsson was a bit unlucky, I think, in the first couple of games to not get points. Then he got brought off at like 60 minutes against Villa. Bernard and Richarlison, they're not inspiring much confidence right now. So, to answer the question, I wouldn't be looking at Everton right now, I don't think. I mean, of course, every chance that Sigurdsson and Richarlison could score. Not saying they won't, but they've scored like what, 1 goal in 3 games. I think Iwobi needs to play. Keane could be 6.5, and like realistically, we don't know how Keane is going to take to the Premier League. Like, he's young. Yes, he did well for Juventus, but he didn't play that much. If you wildcard, will you start over with 1 free transfer the next week? Yeah, no matter how many you got saved, you always have 1. Path, thanks very much. De Bruyne or Son? It's very hard to look past De Bruyne right now, to be honest. As much as I love Son, if I had to pick between the two, it would be De Bruyne. Walcott did miss a City, yeah, and Moise Keane was not happy about it. Coleman, stick or twist? I'd probably stick with him. Yeah, when we used to do like Fantasy Island Risk and stuff like that on Scoutcast, or to be honest, anytime I'm looking at a player, I tend to look at the so obviously when you're further on in the season, you've got a lot more game weeks worth of data. I'll usually look over the last 4 or 6. Like in the members area of Fantasy Football Scout, I usually look at the last 4 or 6 game weeks. So we've had 3 now. And I remember last year, wildcard in game week 5. Obviously, that was after 4 weeks of data. So I think by next week, we'll have a goodish picture of how players are doing. Obviously, some players have only played twice now. Like Trossard's only played twice. Morpay has only had one start. Aguero's played twice. Abraham's played twice. So you've still got to fill in the blanks here or there. But 4 weeks, I think, is decent enough to kind of see how teams and players are doing. Someone asked me about Abraham. So I thought he was pretty good for Norwich, and he took his goals really well. I think I'm trying to remember the second goal or the first goal now. The one where he turned to go outside of the defender and then just shot back to the left, low drive. I think that was the second one. I watched that game and I can't remember. I feel like Lampard probably. I feel like Lampard's going to be super happy about that, because he probably wants to have a striker that he can rely on each week without having to swap too often. Okay, 2 people think it was the first, 2 think it was the second. Anyway, you know the goal I'm talking about. He took it really well. I can't even remember the other goal now. Anyway, I think Abraham's the one Lampard wanted to do well. He's going to be his kind of number 1 pick, I think. And I think scoring 2 goals like that, finally getting off the mark, is going to help with that. But obviously he didn't play the second game. Giroud played. So is he going to keep starting? That's my only worry with him. Our first was the cross from Azpilicueta, of course. So I think someone like Abraham definitely could make 3-4-3 completely viable. Yeah, I agree. I think Tammy Abraham is number 1, but are you confident enough that he's going to start week in, week out? That's what you want for 7 million. We can talk about players being so good that even when they get benched every now and again, it's worth it. But it is annoying no matter how you spin it. It's like David Silva. He'll do really well for 7.4 million, but if he's going to get benched every other game, you don't want him. But yeah, that's kind of the point I'm making, what Matt said. I just think those 2 goals will probably be now kind of set him in Lampard's mind as I've got to start him week in, week out. And go from there. Double up with Mount, maybe. Maybe. The only thing is, if I went 3-4-3, I think I'd probably look to put a bit more money in midfield. So that's probably why I go 3-5-2 and not have Abraham for now. So I think he does look like a good option. The only thing I will say is after Sheffield United at home, they got Wolves away and Liverpool at home. So again, maybe Liverpool at home is a good fixture now. And Wolves away, they're not performing great after Europe either. But I'm not sure it's the 2 fixtures I'd bring him in for. Rico to start now, yeah. So Charlie Daniels got injured, was on crutches, done his knee in. So it looks like Rico will probably start more often than not now. He didn't come on, but they kind of reshuffled the personnel. I think I think who was it? I think was it Fraser that went and played left wing back? I got such bad memory. It was only today. But they shuffled around the personnel and they didn't bring Rico on. But I think on a normal match, starting out from minute 1, he would be in. We'll see. Best goalkeeper to have. Everyone would have been in love with Pope if he scored. Aki to left back. That didn't happen, did it? Make sure if you haven't already, vote on the polls, top right hand corner, click on that little eye. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the like button. There's 1,800 people watching. We're on 166 likes. Let's try and get to 500 before the stream is out. Got to be time to get off Perez. Yeah, I think Perez is done. Is Pookie overhyped? Probably by some people. Some people that think he's going to keep scoring, 4 or 5 in 3 games. Not going to happen. But could he keep ticking over? Absolutely. Rashford out, Barnes in. I don't think I'd be knee-jerking that. I think give Rashford another game. Rashford puts that penalty in, and suddenly he's essential. Although it is going to be interesting who gets the next one. There's every chance that Martial gets the next one now. Then don't go over Cantwell because this isn't a wildcard team. Yeah, exactly. Like Adam says, it's impossible not to hype a player who scores 5 and 3, only costs 6.5 to start the season. Like, sometimes you just got to swallow your pride, accept that you've missed the points, and just get him in. Because I think I saw Physio saying on Twitter earlier, was it him? Someone said it. Either you bring him in and he keeps scoring and job done, or you bring him in, he stops scoring, you get a few price rises, everyone's in the same boat. I think I would still bring him in this week. He's got Man City at home the week after, which should be tough, but I think you have to bring him in. He's too good to ignore. He's basically got, from what I remember, he's got similar underlying stats to what Jimenez had in the first kind of 3-4 weeks. Apart from Jimenez hadn't scored yet, and he went on and did really well. Whereas Pookie's just absolutely nailed it from the off. Mount or Martial if both fit. I think they still go Martial for now. Mount looked good. He has looked really good. I just think the next few fixtures, Martial is better. But obviously it costs more money. So if you can do something with the money, just get him out. No one knows who takes penalties. Who's going to take the next penalty for Man United? Am I sponsored by Coca-Cola? I am not, but I could be. Get in touch, Coke. Trent or Van Dijk? I mean, it has to be Trent, I think. Someone asked me right at the start of the stream, would you swap Robertson to Trent? I mean, I would if I could do it for free without using up any transfers, but obviously that can't happen. But at the end of the day, the Robertson-Trent situation is even more interesting than Salah versus Mane. There's going to be big swings in points between Mane and Salah. Between Trent and Robertson, it probably won't be that high. So if they get a clean sheet, they both get it anyway. So it's only kind of the attack and return that's the difference. So every chance that Robertson gets an attack and return soon. He's shooting. He seems to be shooting a little bit more. And assist potential is obviously there as well. Sure, he doesn't deliver the ball quite as well as Trent Alexander-Arnold, but he's pretty good. Pretty damn good. Who should you take out? Perez, Sigurdsson or Kane? I mean, it depends who you want to prioritise bringing in, because obviously they're different prices, but I feel like Perez is the one I'd probably prioritise out of them. Jota to Barnes for free. Yeah, no, I've kind of already... Thanks for that, by the way. I've kind of already discussed bringing in Barnes early. It's a risk, right? Burnley do play midweek. He could get injured. You could have injuries from the rest of your team as well. But Jota has not started off well, same as last year. And Barnes looks great. And he's continued to look great for the whole of 2019. So I think it's a fine move, yeah. Zero interest in Zero interest in getting rid of Pope. Like I said, very close to a clean sheet. That would have been 2 clean sheets in the first 3. And once the Liverpool game's out of the way, it gets a lot easier for Burnley. Drop Lucas Moura for De Bruyne. Sounds like a great move to me. Is it crazy to go for both Mane and Salah? Nope, don't think so. It's a lot of money, but if you think they're going to keep scoring well, absolutely go for it. Confident on a Chelsea clean sheet. I think I would be this week. I think against Sheffield United, that's decent enough punt for a clean sheet. Is Ceballos a concern? No, I don't think so if you own him. Am I sticking with Pope for the rest of the season? Maybe not, but definitely until I wildcard and probably even after a wildcard. What's that, Fozzie? Check the poll results. We'll do it in a second, yeah. You got a couple more minutes if you want to vote on the polls. Make sure to give the video a like while you're at it and subscribe if you're new around here. We are 713 people off of 50,000 subscribers, which is insane. I might even get 4 party poppers out for that. 4. Don't think we've ever had 4 before. Would I take a hit to get Sterling? Probably. Yeah, especially if you're going to captain him. Depends who you're taking out, of course, but he looks pretty good going forward. If you're going to captain him, looks like a great pick. Will I ever play pool live? Maybe. Time to do a wildcard draft with Aguero. I'm still not really interested in Aguero, if I'm completely honest. Will you do a Gary Lineker if you get 500p? Is that supposed to be K? 500,000 subscribers? Maybe. Don't think that's likely anytime soon, but you never know. Get Hugo, son. Hugo? He's underrated, I'm telling you. I don't know who you mean. Is Barkley done? Yeah, I mean, Barkley doesn't look like he's going to be a starter anytime soon. He played the last game, but that's because Pedro got injured. I mean, Aguero's got the same problem as Kane for me. He's a premium player that I'm trying to fit in alongside De Bruyne, Sterling, Salah. And obviously I've got Zinchenko as well, so I can't even get Aguero if I wanted to. He's 12 million. And I know he scored 3 now. 3 and 2. Pretty impressive. But Sterling scored 5 and 3. Gets more points for the clean sheets, etc. Probably going to get more minutes than Aguero this year, maybe. Cantwell versus West Ham or McGinn versus Palace. I think I would go for Cantwell. Norwich are just so attacking. I mean, Aston Villa are pretty attacking too. They play a bit more counter-attacking, I think. Yeah, Norwich just look good right now. I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't have a dog, but there is a dog outside and I've got my window open because it is boiling in here. So apologies if you can keep hearing that. Transfer that dog in. He sounds like he's got a bit more bite than Kane up top. He seems to have gone quiet now. Here's a question for you, right? People keep asking me about defenders. Jesus, going nuts. Can't close the window now. If you could see my setup, it's hassle to close the window. Anyway, before we do the polls, question for you. Defenders. Who is good? If you were bringing in defenders now, who would you bring in? Rudiger, is he even fit to start? I genuinely, right now, don't know. Trent Alexander-Arnold, yeah, fair shout. Willy Bolly, I kind of think that too, but Wolves, I'm not sure about Wolves right now. I'm probably avoiding. Emerson I like for this week. Not sure about the 2 following weeks. Also, I would like to see Emerson shoot a bit closer to the goal. He seems to shoot from outside the box quite a bit. Soyuncu, I think he's a good 4.5. Yeah, Leicester's fixtures okay-ish. I think Bournemouth, and then let me remind myself. Actually, no, they're not good, are they? Yeah, it's Bournemouth, then Man United away, and Spurs at home. This is what I mean. No one has a really good run of fixtures. Van Arnold, maybe, yeah. Matip. Save a bit of money on the rest of them. Phil Jones, great. I mean, if Rudiger's back, that could make Emerson a really good pick. I feel like he is going to be the attacking one. Otamendi's pretty cheap. Seems to have won his place back over Stones. What was he? 5.5? 5.4. Oof. So many good options in Man City. Villa and West Ham, great feature. This is the thing, though. I don't trust those defences. Anyway, my point is, there isn't any. Apart from Trent. There's no good defenders. Well, there's no defenders that look like must-haves. There's just none. Like, Lucas Digne, okay, fair enough. He's got 2 clean sheets and an attacking return in the first 3. So he's not really done anything wrong. But yeah, this is why I'm not really looking on shifting on defenders too much. Anyway, let's do the polls. Let's do them polls. Sorry, polls. I've refreshed. Views on Mount. I'd say the views from a mountain. Brilliant. Stunning, in fact. Yeah, I've got no problems with Lucas Digne. I guess I'm just trying to point out that. And to be fair, I think Man City defenders will do well going forward. But I just don't think there's too many options that most of us aren't already on. Yeah, there's no bread and butter clean sheet, exactly. And you can talk about attacking returns all you want. The clean sheets is where it's at, first and foremost. Okay, is Kane worth keeping? 72% saying nope, get rid. 28% saying yes, keep. How many premium defenders going forward for 6 million plus will you have? Or should we have, I guess it should have said. 2, 51%. So, yeah, still liking 1 Liverpool defender. Lucas Digne, maybe 2 Liverpool defenders. Only 1, 26%. 3, so still with the big at the back, 15%. 4 plus, only 1% now. Imagine that at the start of the season. Then a few people going with absolutely 0. How the hell do you type that fast? Someone says that every time I type. I just use computer too much, I guess. Pookie or Barnes, 54% saying just get Pookie, 35% just get both right now. They're so good. Only Barnes 6% and neither 3%. Neither. Who are you people? Anyone know why El Mohammadi didn't play? I just think they've got 2 good options at right back, basically. I mean, a lot of people expected Gilbert to start the season, so are you worried about Man United players? 54% of you saying nope, not worried at all, and then 46% definitely are. And could Cantwell be a 4th midfielder? 60% saying yes, lots of faith in him. 40% still saying no. I'm still not sure about that. Jury's still out. I think it would leave you quite inflexible. Is wildcard on international break advantageous, if nothing else, than team value? That was a thing like 4 or 5 years ago maybe, but in recent years there haven't been that many price changes. Whether or not that's because FPL were kind of, I don't know, hang on a second. Maybe that's because FPL are getting involved and stopping it happening, or whatever. But there's not really that. There's no more price rises in the international break than a normal week. So in the previous years, it was a good way to make money. Not so much anymore. So if you need to use your wildcard and international break, by all means go for it. But don't have to. Like if you don't need it, don't use it just for money. Basically, is the short answer to that. Check my overall rank. Oh, I'm in the top 100k already. I'm well happy about that. I actually think. Let me test something a sec. I think I can edit this on the fly. Bear with me as my nearly 8-year-old computer crashes because I try and open Photoshop at the same time as having this on. Will we ever see you on the FPL show? Maybe if I get asked. Maybe. I'd say I'd be proper nervous. Okay, so I reckon if I go back to this, just bear with me, alright? Bear with me. Let's see if this works. If I go, it's because my computer has died. Oop. See if this works. So I can save that. This must be so interesting to watch, by the way. Yeah, it works. Okay, so that's good to know. That is good to know. Production value, bam. So overall rank is in now. Now that's actually good to know that I can edit like that going forward. That is good to know. Okay. That's actually super handy. Okay, I'm sorry. So my overall rank is 97,728. I'm really happy with that after 3 weeks. Obviously, I would rather be much, much higher, but I never usually have a quick start, and it usually takes me a few more weeks to get into the top 100k. So I'm happy with that. My team ID is 58. Overall rank is extremely close right now. Yeah, for sure, of course, but I still think with 6 million plus managers, already being in the top 100k is decent. And especially when you've got a team you're happy with. I mean, when you've got a team that you're considering bringing in a player playing against Liverpool, I feel pretty happy about that. Alright. I'm going to leave it there. If you haven't already, please make sure you go and give a like on the stream. We're on 327. We can definitely get closer to 500 before 1,800 people log off. Subscribe if you're new. Aim for 50k. Not too far off now. So appreciate that if you subscribe if you're new around here. Points prediction video will be up tomorrow. Team selection will be up Tuesday. Preview will be up Wednesday. Next stream will be Thursday. And then, God, I'm so tired. I'm rubbing my eye again. And then we'll be ready to smash Gameweek 4. Thanks very much for tuning in tonight. Been great chatting on the knee jerk. Lots of panic and lots of calm, I think. Especially people that maybe didn't wildcard. Even those that did. There's plenty more of the season to go, so don't panic no matter what rank you're at right now. Otherwise, yeah, I'll catch you later. Cheers, everyone.